age really just a number? As long as you feel good, as long as you look good, then nothing else matters? Or is getting older a deep, dark, black hole that you fear falling into that's gonna suck you in and spit you out and eventually kill you? I don't know. I'm never gonna get old. I'm gonna live forever. Yup, sure am. Touch me, touch me, My older sister was 6 years older than me, and I remember when she was turning 40, she started to get into a funk. She started to spiral into this depression, and she told me about it, and she voiced it quite a bit, how she was upset, how she didn't feel that she had fulfilled her dreams, and she didn't know what the future held, that she was getting old. And I remember laughing, literally laughing in her face. I said, why are you being so extra? I mean, for crying out loud, one day you're 39, the next day you're going to be 40. What's the big deal? What does it matter? What does it change? I remember her saying to me, no, Ange, you just don't get it. It's something that I can't control. I just don't know where it's coming from. I thought I was going to be okay, but I'm not. I'm really down about it. And the more she told me that she was down, I'm afraid to say the more I laughed, because it just seemed so crazy to me. Because at 34, 40 seemed like years away. Then 6 years passed, and I was about to turn 40. Now, to be honest with you, I thought I was dealing with it okay. It was no big deal, just 40, just another number, just another year, no problem. Now, my birthday is the 2nd of November, and I remember that October, when I was turning 40, which was many moons ago. And I remember it was about mid-October, and I remember exactly where I was. I was rehearsing for this big show, and I was sitting down in the rehearsal room, in the rehearsal studio, and the guys were faffing about on their instruments and whatever they were doing, and they were practicing, and I was waiting my turn to sing. And I remember, like out of nowhere, like a meteorite just coming from the sky, just came and just hit me on my neck, that, oh my God, I'm turning 40. And let me tell you something, the anxiety that kicked in, the depression that kicked in. I was thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be 40. I'm going to be middle-aged. Have I done anything with my life? Am I where I thought I was going to be? I thought things were going to be different from me. Everything was bleak. Everything was dark. Everything was horrible. Everything was a mess. It was crazy. I can't believe how crazy I was acting at that time. And I remember calling my sister and saying to her, I am so sorry that I laughed at you. I didn't get it. I had no idea what it felt like. And she laughed and she said, Ange, I know. It's not a problem. I know. There are certain things that you have to feel on your own skin. You have to feel on your own shoulders before you can really fully grasp the magnitude of it all. And she was so right. I didn't get it. I really didn't get it, but I do now. So let me tell you how I know that I'm getting old. I remember years ago, we were very much into social media, things like MySpace, very much into that. I remember doing my site. We were like one of the first people to use Skype and all those kind of software. And we were, pretty much advanced in technology. Now, it seems as technology is leaving me behind because things are happening so quickly. And to be quite honest, I don't have a clue what's going on. I struggle with certain things. Even the other day, I wanted to make a reel on Instagram. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I had to ask my daughter, how do I post this on Instagram? And she's like, what? You don't have to do it. I said, no, if I knew, I wouldn't ask you, would I? And she goes, that rolled her eyes. But things are happening. I don't know how to post. I'm not sure how to do it. Even having this YouTube channel, it was the big fear. Oh my God, am I going to be able to upload? Even recently, I wanted to do something on the phone. And my daughter was like, Mummy, all you have to do is do this. And I said, I didn't know my phone could do that. It's just like I'm being left behind. And that to me is an indication that I'm getting old. Or could it be that I'm just stupid? I remember when I was younger, as a singer, I was working quite a bit in the TV, and the main studio, the RAI, is in Rome. And I remember I used to take the night shuttle to go to Rome. We didn't have the fast trains back then. So I used to get on the train, maybe stay on the overnight one, sleep in a chair or a little kind of like a cot kind of thing. Wake up in the morning, go to the hotel or go to the studios, have a shower, get dressed, whatever, do the TV show, then get back, take the plane to Milan and do a gig in the evening. And that's something that I used to do quite regularly. I did that a few years ago. I had to do a show, but instead of taking the train, I took a plane out to Rome, and then I had the gig in the evening. Let me tell you something. It took me not 1, but 2 weeks to get over that. My body was screaming. I was so tired. Everything hurt. I was in pain. My ankles, my knees, my back. And I thought, never again am I going to do 2 gigs in one day. It's not happening. It's not worth it. I'm not putting myself through all that stress. And that kind of hit me that a few years ago I was able to do that and not feel it at all. But unfortunately, that's not happening anymore. Now, as I get older, I have to accept that my body refuses to do certain things. And one of the things that my body doesn't want to do, it will do every now and again, but more often than not, what it refuses to do is bend. My back's not having it. My knees are not having it. My joints are not having it. They just don't want to. And no matter what I do, no matter what I say, no matter how I try to coax them, they're not doing it. They're just not having it. The other day I was at the supermarket and I took out my purse to get some coins to give to my daughter to go and get a trolley. And I was there faffing about in my purse. And I don't know what happened, but a euro fell out, went clang and fell to the floor. And it was weird because it was almost in slow motion, but the coin rolled. And I watched it roll. And there were customers around me who were looking at me and thinking, well, why isn't she stopping to go and pick it up? Let me tell you something, people. I don't care if it was 100 euros. There is no way in the middle of that supermarket was I going to test my back and my knees to see if I could pick up that coin. So I had to wait until my daughter came back. And she said, Mummy, what's the matter? And I said, look, some money fell out. And she said, why don't you pick it up? And I thought to myself, oh my goodness, isn't it nice? The ignorance of youth. Now, when you're younger and you feel certain aches and pains, it means nothing to you. It's like no big deal. Yeah, my back hurts. Yeah, whatever. I must have slept on it funny. Oh, my ankle hurts. Oh, okay. I must have kind of twisted it. When you're young, you don't think about your mortality. You don't think that anything can happen to you. As you get older, however, any new pain is like, uh-oh, this is new. I wonder what that means. What's going on? Should I go to the doctor? I wonder if it's terminal. But if it's terminal, do I really want to know? Maybe I should just forget about it. Maybe it will go away on its own accord. Should I take an aspirin maybe? I don't know, let me wait a minute. Is it going? Nope. There it is. There it is. Should I call somebody? Should I tell someone? And these are the things that happened in my brain. Or am I just crazy? Am I the only one? I refuse to believe that I'm the only one that thinks that way. I think, oh my goodness, is this it? Is this the one that's going to finally take me out? What is it? Is it a tumor? It could be anything. Am I having a stroke? Am I having a heart attack? What is it? What's going on? And those are the things that's in your mind when you're older. That when you're younger, you don't have those thoughts. Although I try my best not to go there, but I do, I'm not gonna lie. Now, when I was younger and I had the luxury of youth on my side, when I used to leave the house to go to the shops or whatever, I didn't really pay much attention about how I looked. I would throw in some sweats and trainers and put a hat on my head so I didn't even have to bother to comb my hair. And I was out the door. Now, as an older woman, I ain't doing that. I'm making sure that I represent every single time. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I'm not saying that I go to the supermarket in high heels and a sequin dress, jeans and a sweatshirt, but I have to look good. I have to look smart. I have to make sure that my face looks good, that my hair's combed. I don't know who I'm going to meet out in the street. So I have to make sure that I look good, that I'm representing all the time. My dad, no matter what he did, no matter where he went, he always had on a suit and tie and a hat. You know, those kind of rimmed hats. And like on parents' evening, when he used to go to the school, he always used to say, I'm not going there looking anyhow. I have to make sure that they know that your dad is somebody who's smart. The older he got, the smarter he got. And his shoes were always shiny, always had on a watch. He always looked good, my dad. And that's something that I think I got from him. Because as I get older, I have to represent. I ain't going nowhere looking less than how I should. Hell no. Now, I like traveling. I like traveling a lot. And I like to take the car and drive around mainland Europe. Now, the problem with that, though, is that back in the day, I could hold my pee for hours. No problem. It'd be driving and driving and driving. Now, however, it's like every half an hour, every hour, I was like, oh my God, I'm bursting. And I hate using public toilets, but I have no choice. And I think to myself, oh my goodness, I do regret and I am sorry that I'm not as young as I used to be, because the constant peeing is annoying. And the fact that I can't travel as freely as I used to is annoying. It is so bothersome. It is so troublesome. But I have no choice. Sometimes even at home, I will get up to go to the bathroom and I see my daughter, oh, Mama, let me go first. I'm thinking, no. Once I'm up and I'm heading that way, I have to go. If not, there's going to be an accident and nobody wants to see that. But you know what? I have to accept it for what it is. And what can I do? Nothing, just pee. Now, a few months ago, I went to get my eye tested because especially at night, I'm at the computer and it's dark. Couldn't see jack. So I went to the opticians, got my eyes tested, and of course I needed glasses. The best option for me was bifocals. I said, bifocals? That's something that my dad used to wear when he was in his 70s and 80s. Now the bifocals today aren't like the bifocals that my dad used to wear, because he had to have those half moon thing with a different kind of glass, those kind of bifocals. Now the bifocals are actually part of the lens. So I bought the glasses and I added this and I added that. It cost me an arm and a leg for these glasses. Would you believe that I don't wear them? Because one, wearing them is just admitting the fact that I'm old. And two is I want to hold on to that little remaining sight that I have. And I fear that if I wear the glasses, it's just going to make my eyesight worse. Am I crazy, people? I don't know. But okay, here are my glasses, right? Which is, I'm going to put them on. I'm going to show them because I don't let anybody see me in them. And I have to get over that. And that's what I said. So I'm going to show you my glasses, all that good stuff. Okay, how do I look? Do I look intelligent? Do I look sexy? Look, I can't do it, people. I cannot do it. I cannot wear glasses and let everybody know that I'm old. I can't. I can't do it. Let me look. Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But knowing that my eyes are going, that lets me know, unfortunately, that this woman right here is getting old. Another thing that lets me know that I'm getting old is the fact that sometimes my daughter comes out of her room and says, Mummy, why is the TV on so loud? And I said, what do you mean it's loud? I can't hear it. She goes, feel the walls. The walls are vibrating. That's how loud it is. The neighbors are going to come down and say something because the TV is at the top volume. And I'm looking at her as if she's crazy. I'm thinking to myself, what on earth is this child talking about? I can't hear anything. People, what can I add to that? Nothing. Why am I sitting down watching soccer, watching football, and somebody misses a penalty? Why am I crying? Why am I watching some silly little children's program and the dog runs away? Why am I crying? Why am I watching some romantic comedy where boy meets girl, boy leaves girl? Why am I crying? And that's the thing, is that my emotional state is all over the place, but I have no control. I can't stop it. I just have to go with the flow, and I just have to deal with it. Do you know the amount of times that I open up the fridge or open up a cupboard or open up my wardrobe and I stand there like an idiot, just looking, thinking, why am I here? What did I want? I needed something, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it is, and I have to retrace my steps. If I'm cooking, it's like, okay, well, I've got milk and I've got flour, and I open up the fridge for something. Okay, eggs. I needed eggs. If I'm in my wardrobe and I'm getting dressed, it's like, well, got on the jeans and I've got the jacket, but I needed a top. I needed a top. It is crazy that the amount of times my mind is just a blank. I'll put something down and I'll say, okay, I'll put it here. That way I'll remember. When it sounds good in theory, I never remember. So now I'm getting into the habit of writing things down. Just a little aid to help me to remember things, especially the more important stuff. Now let me tell you something. This is not an accessory, and neither is this. Whew. These two things right here are my best friends. There are days when I sit down and it feels like someone purposefully comes and sits beside me with the heater on max, on full blast, shoots it up at my face. I get so hot. And where everybody else is cool and sitting down there and, feeling nice and fresh, I'm hot, I'm bothered, I'm sweating, I'm just all over the place, getting overheated as a woman. It's no joke, but that's a different category that we can get into another time. But let me tell you something. Whew, thank God for fans. The other day I was out shopping and somebody tapped me on the shoulder and said, so you're not going to say hello to me? And I looked at this person and I thought, who the hell is this? I don't know this woman. And she said, Angie, aren't you going to say hello? I was perplexed. She knew my name, so obviously it was somebody that I knew. And she told me her name. And I thought, oh my gosh, she looks so old. Now, I'm not trying to be funny and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not. All of that to say, we're the same age. So I was thinking, so obviously, if she's gotten older, I hadn't seen her in a while. So if she's gotten old, that means I have too. And that kind of hit me in thinking, because, let me tell you something. My mirror knows well to lie to me. My mirror tells me everything I want to hear. I've taught my mirror well. My mirror knows that the best thing for it to do is to lie to me. It tells me how thin I look. It tells me how young I look. It tells me how beautiful I look. So having a talking mirror that lies, it kind of hit me, well, if she's gotten older, then maybe I have too. I don't want to think about it. One of the things I know why I'm aging is that when you're younger, death is something, as I said before, that you don't think about. And when somebody dies, it's like your grandparents, and they're older, so you explain that away. They're older, so it's only normal. It's the natural cycle of life. When you get to a certain age, however, you start losing friends, you start losing siblings, and when that happens, you realize that. But I'm at that age now that if I were to pass away, yeah, it would be sad, it would be unfortunate, but it wouldn't be so tragic because at the end of the day, I've had a life. Listen, we talk the truth over here at Life Soundtrack. So that's it. That's my reasons how I know that I am getting old. Maybe you have other reasons how you know that you're getting old. I would love to hear them. If you want to leave a comment down below, I would love to read them. Getting old is something that we are all going to have to face. It's going to happen to us all. You can either fight against it, but it's a losing battle, or you can embrace it and accept it. Enjoy the wisdom that comes with age. I personally have no time to waste fighting a battle that I cannot win. Whatever age you are at, and I know that for some people, aging can be difficult, especially if you're on your own or if you have health issues. And I get that and I understand that. So I wish happy health to you all. Thank you for the company. Thank you so much for stopping by. I look forward to seeing you again soon. But until then, be kind to yourself and to others. Take care. Bye for now. Ciao.